So I find it so funny that people on the left are angry that Elon Musk is going into the books and finding all the wasteful spending and the corruption, that they're more mad at Musk doing that than actually what he's actually finding, right? All the corruption, the wasteful spending. They're not even worried about that. They're going crazy just for Musk being able to see these things, than actually getting mad at the fact that he's finding all this corruption, right? Because let's be real, this is what the American people signed up for. When Donald Trump was campaigning, he said he's going to do X, Y, Z. We're gonna root out the corruption. All right, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna clean up the mess. We're gonna clean the books. All right, we're gonna make America great again. He said he's gonna do all these things, and this is what the people actually voted for. So none of us are surprised. None of us are surprised. We are actually happy that he's actually doing exactly what he says. It's something which you don't get from most of these politicians or presidents, right? We don't get this. And the transparency makes it even better. So Jim Jordan, he's going to talk about, the fact that, these Democrats are angry that, Elon Musk is doing what he's doing. So I'm just going to let him speak, and then I'll share my thoughts afterwards.
Mr. Chairman, instead of stopping the stupid spending, Democrats attack the guy who's exposing it. I think the taxpayers of this country would just as soon we stop spending their money on dumb things. Like what was the example from USAID, some transgender comic in Ireland spending money on Bert and Ernie and Big Bird on Baghdad TV. I think they would prefer we not do that. Elon Musk is exposing in the federal government exactly what he exposed at Twitter when he purchased Twitter. What did we find out there? Big government was pressuring big tech to censor Americans. You don't have to take my word for it. We had the Twitter files. Oh, and we also had someone else in big tech send a letter to this committee and tell us exactly what they were doing. Mark Zuckerberg said the Biden administration was pressuring us to censor. We did it. We're sorry. We won't do it again. Told the whole world that in a letter to this committee. So Elon Musk is now doing that for the federal government. We think that's a good thing. And to understand the fundamental difference the left has with us conservatives. Democrats believe it is the career elected bureaucrats who are supposed to run the country. We don't think that's the way it's supposed to work. We actually think it's the people who put their name on a ballot, who get elected by we the people, who make the decisions. And the guy who got 77 million votes on November 5th says he wants Elon Musk working for him, the elected member who heads the executive branch working for him, every bit as much as the federal employees, the people in Treasury who are supposed to have all the answers, or in USAID who bid the career officials, working for him to expose stupid things our government is spending money on. And the Democrats are going to attack that guy? Go ahead. Go right ahead. But we know the real consequences of having this administrative state, these bureaucrats run things. We got two witnesses here who've lived it. Miss Wade and Mr. Smith. They're here to tell about how that had some impacted their business. So I appreciate the chairman having this hearing. This is exactly the kind of hearing we have to have. And I appreciate the work the president and his team are doing to expose the stupid things bureaucrats spend the hard-earned money of the people we get the privilege of representing. I yield back.
There you go. Jim Jordan couldn't have said it. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's the thing. Like, what are these Democrats afraid of Elon Musk finding? Right? Are they afraid that the money's gonna lead back to them? Because that's what an audit is, right? It follows the paper trail, right? Are they afraid that Elon Musk is gonna find out why you got politicians on six-figure salaries now worth tens of millions of dollars? Like how is that possible? Like he mentioned that in his press conference, like how Elizabeth Warren worth $10 million. You got Nancy Pelosi worth $200 million. How is this possible? Like people, like the American people are frustrated. They're tired of this. Like you got American people struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, right? Trying to get food on the table, working very hard, working hours, being taxed to death. And you get these politicians in government doing nothing, and they are making millions of dollars doing nothing. And that's pissing a lot of people off. And then you make laws that affect people. And then you talk about, oh my God, we don't have enough money. We need to raise taxes. How about you give your money up and figure this thing out? Because people are tired of just paying all this taxes. It's like, okay, why should we pay you taxes when you don't know how to do with the money that you have already? Why do you always need to raise more taxes? And then you find out, and then you got Musk out here finding all this money going to the most stupidest stuff, and you want people to pay more in taxes. Like, that's not how you get trust, right? If you want more trust, you got to be a little bit more transparent. You got to show that you can manage a budget, which is clearly what you don't know how to do, because we're in a $2 trillion deficit, right? So people are tired of it. They don't want to deal with this anymore. They're tired of it. They don't care what Musk has to do to find out where the money is going. They don't care. He sees our Social Security. Nobody cares. We're tired of having to waste our money. And then you coming back to us and start saying, we don't have enough money. We need to raise taxes. But then before that, you're like, we got to raise it on the rich people, because, when in reality, you're not going after rich people. You're coming after middle America. That's what you really want to do. But you can't just say that. All right. And that's the thing. These Democrats, man, they act like they care about middle America. They always talking about the rich people, this, but then you look at you got so many wealthy Democrats, right? But they're always trying to go after rich people, rich Republicans, rich people. But then you guys yourself are worth multi-million dollars, and your best friends are millionaires. So like, what are we talking about? All right, you bunch of hypocrites, man. People are tired of listening to you. Your messages are falling on deaf ear. Right? People are clearly just not tuning into what you have to say. Clearly, whatever you have to say is nonsense. It's hypocrisy. No one cares what you have to say anymore. Right? People are just tuning you out. You can't control the narrative anymore. Right? Social media has democratized that. Right? People are sharing their voices and making things heard. And it's so amazing that, especially with social media, where now people can see everything that's out there. Right, at such fast speed that the media cannot control that narrative anymore, and I think that's where their anger is coming from. Right, they cannot control the message anymore. Okay, and the fact that Musk is going in there and he's exposing everything in terms of where our tax dollars are going. Obviously, the people on the left are going crazy, because it will expose exactly where they make their millions. What is creating the fact that they're on a 6-figure salary and now they're worth tens of millions of dollars. Like, that just doesn't make sense. All right. While the American people are struggling financially, living paycheck to paycheck, dealing with inflation, you guys are just chilling, doing nothing, making millions of dollars. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. All right. So, look at, man, Elon Musk, Trump, man, do what you got to do when it comes to figuring out where the money's going. Department of Education, Treasury, IRS, wherever it is, you got to go find where our money is going, because this makes absolutely no sense. We got to balance this budget, because the fact that, that deficit continues to grow is just, it doesn't make any sense. So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share, and if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. Right, so you guys take care and have a good one. Later.